Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Close your eyes for a second and picture a wolf. What do you see? A lone hunter silhouetted against a full moon, a snarling beast from a fairy tale. Or maybe a loyal pack member, a symbol of the untamed wild. For centuries, the wolf has been a powerful, often misunderstood, figure in our world. But the story of the wolf is far more complex and fascinating than any single image can capture. It's a tale of incredible resilience, a journey from being one of the most widespread predators on Earth to the brink of extinction, and now, a story of an astonishing comeback. Today, we're diving deep into the world of wolves, then and now. We'll trace their ancient lineage, explore their complex social structures, and uncover the dramatic history that has shaped their relationship with us. So, stick around as we unravel the true story of the wolf. Let's rewind the clock way back. The story of the wolf begins over 1 million years ago with an ancient ancestor known as Canis lupophagus. This small, coyote-like canid roamed North America during the Pliocene epoch. Over hundreds of thousands of years, through the dramatic climate shifts of the ice ages, this ancestor evolved. It grew larger, stronger, and more adapted to hunting the massive megafauna that populated the Pleistocene landscape, like giant bison and woolly mammoths. This was the birth of the gray wolf, Canis lupus. From these ancient beginnings, gray wolves spread out, conquering continents. They became one of the most successful and widely distributed large mammals on the planet, second only to humans. From the frozen tundras of the Arctic to the dense forests of Europe and the vast plains of Asia and North America, wolves thrived. They were the apex predators, the keystone species that shaped entire ecosystems. Their presence dictated the health of forests and the behavior of prey animals. This was the golden age of the wolf, a time when their howls echoed across nearly the entire northern hemisphere. What made them so successful? It wasn't just their sharp teeth and powerful jaws. It was their intelligence and, most importantly, their incredible social structure. The pack. A wolf pack is not just a random group of animals hunting together. It's a family. Typically, a pack is led by an alpha pair, the breeding male and female, who are usually the parents of most of the other pack members. The rest of the pack consists of their offspring from various years. This family structure is the core of their survival. Within the pack, every wolf has a role. They communicate through a complex language of body postures, facial expressions, barks, whines, and of course, the iconic howl. A howl isn't just a spooky sound in the night. It's a social glue. It's used to locate other pack members over long distances, to warn rival packs to stay away from their territory, and to reinforce the bonds within the family. It's their long-distance call, their community announcement, and their family song, all rolled into one. Cooperative hunting is where the pack truly shines. By working together, they can take down prey much larger than any single wolf could manage alone, like elk, moose, or bison. This teamwork ensures the entire family gets to eat, from the youngest pups to the oldest members. This intricate social life and cooperative strategy allowed wolves to dominate their environment for millennia. They were the undisputed rulers of the wild. But then, a new predator began to expand its territory. Humans. For a long time, our paths ran parallel. Early humans and wolves were competitors, but also, in a way, peers. We both hunted in groups, valued family, and were highly adaptable. In fact, it was during this period that one of the most significant events in human history occurred: the domestication of the dog. Genetic evidence strongly suggests that our loyal canine companions are descended from ancient populations of gray wolves who, for reasons we're still studying, began to associate with human hunter-gatherer groups. It was a partnership that would change the world forever. However, as human societies shifted from hunting and gathering to agriculture and livestock farming, our relationship with the wolf soured dramatically. Wolves, who saw livestock as easy prey, were no longer just competitors. They became enemies. They were seen as a threat to our livelihood, a symbol of the dangerous, untamed wilderness that stood in the way of civilization. This shift in perception marked the beginning of a dark chapter for the wolf. Fear and misunderstanding fueled a relentless war against them. Wolves were demonized in folklore and fairy tales, portrayed as evil, cunning creatures. This cultural narrative justified one of the most widespread and brutal extermination campaigns in history. Across Europe and North America, governments put bounties on their heads. They were hunted, trapped, and poisoned with ruthless efficiency. The goal wasn't just to control them, it was to eliminate them entirely. The results were devastating. By the early 20th century, wolves had been wiped out from most of Western Europe. In the United States, the situation was even more dire. Gray wolves, once numbering in the hundreds of thousands, were gone from over 95% of their original range in the lower 48 states. They clung to existence only in the remote wilderness of northern Minnesota and Alaska. The howl of the wolf, which had once echoed across the entire continent, had fallen silent. The top predator was gone, and the ecosystems they had once managed began to unravel. Without wolves, elk and deer populations exploded. They overgrazed riverbanks and valleys, stripping away willows and aspens. This had a domino effect. Beavers, who relied on these trees for food and dams, disappeared. Without beaver dams, riverbanks eroded. and water temperatures rose, harming fish populations. Songbirds lost their nesting habitats in the riverside trees. The entire landscape changed, becoming less diverse and less resilient. The absence of the wolf proves just how vital they were. This ecological collapse served as a powerful, albeit harsh, lesson. By the mid-20th century, a new way of thinking began to emerge. Scientists and conservationists started to understand the critical role of apex predators. The new field of ecology revealed the intricate web of life and how removing one piece could cause the whole system to collapse. This growing awareness led to a landmark piece of legislation in the United States, the Endangered Species Act of 1973. For the first time, the gray wolf was given federal protection. The war was over, and the long, slow process of recovery could begin. One of the most famous and successful chapters in this recovery story took place in 1995. After decades of debate, conservationists reintroduced gray wolves into Yellowstone National Park, a place they had been absent from for nearly 70 years. This was a bold experiment, and its results were nothing short of miraculous. The wolves did exactly what they were supposed to do. They began to hunt the oversized elk population, but they did more than just reduce their numbers. They changed their behavior. The elk, now wary of predators, stopped congregating in open river valleys. They moved around more, avoiding areas where they could be easily ambushed. This gave the overgrazed vegetation a chance to recover. Willows and aspens grew tall again along the rivers, and that's when the magic happened. The returning trees stabilized the riverbanks. They provided food and materials for beavers, who returned and built dams. These dams created ponds and wetlands, providing new habitats for otters, muskrats, ducks, and fish. The songbirds came back to nest in the trees. The carcasses left behind by the wolves provided food for bears, eagles, and other scavengers. The wolves even indirectly helped pronghorn antelope, because they reduced the number of coyotes, which preyed on pronghorn fawns. They had initiated what ecologists call a trophic cascade chain reaction that revitalized the entire ecosystem from the top down. The reintroduction of wolves in Yellowstone became the ultimate proof of their importance as a keystone species. Today, the story of the wolf is one of fragile but hopeful recovery. Thanks to reintroduction programs and legal protections, wolf populations have rebounded in several areas. In the United States, they've returned to parts of the Rocky Mountains, the Pacific Northwest, and the Great Lakes region. In Europe, wolves are making a comeback in countries like Germany, France, and Italy, sometimes appearing in places they haven't been seen in over a century. But their return is not without conflict. The old tensions between wolves and humans, especially ranchers and farmers, remain. Managing these conflicts is the single biggest challenge for wolf conservation today. It requires a delicate balance. Researchers and wildlife managers are working on non-lethal deterrents to protect livestock, like range riders, specialized fencing, and guard dogs. Compensation programs are in place to help ranchers who lose animals to predation. Education is also key, working to replace the old myths with scientific understanding and fostering a sense of coexistence. The future of the wolf depends entirely on us. It depends on our willingness to make space for them, to manage our landscapes in a way that allows both humans and wildlife to thrive. The wolf's journey from ancient predator to vilified enemy to symbol of ecological restoration is a mirror reflecting our own changing relationship with the natural world. Their story teaches us about resilience, the intricate connections within nature, and the profound impact we have on the planet. By ensuring a future for the wolf, we are also investing in the health and wildness of our own world. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the history of the wolf. What are your thoughts on their comeback? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this story as fascinating as we do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the natural world. We'll see you in the next one.